All right.
So from
Go
one
ahead.
stubborn motherfucker to another stubborn motherfucker, we got to talk about Kanye.
Let's go.
We got to talk about Kanye.
That escalated quickly.
So before we talk about the Adidas and Gap bullshit, right?
Yeah.
Did you know he legally changed his name to Ye?
Yeah. That happened like, what, 3 years ago?
For real?
Yeah. It was a while ago.
I somehow missed that.
Yeah. I don't know. People still call him Kanye and he doesn't care. Like, he's been gay for a while, though, yeah.
Okay. Well, that's just a new fact for me. I was very surprised to learn that. But
the more you know.
Have you been...
Wrong sound effect, bro. I have too many sound effects now. I don't even know where shit is. All right, yeah. Continue.
Have you been following the very messy divorce that Kanye's having with Gap and Adidas that's very, very public right now?
So I've seen quite a bit of it, but not really. I saw the interview he did, of course, where he was talking about, I'm not going to listen to anyone who's broker than me about money, blah, 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 which, there you go, get your rocks off, Kanye. In general, I didn't really hear what the problems were. I know that there were decisions being made that he wasn't necessarily in the room for, that he felt, kind of slighted by. And I know even he had talked about this before, where it's like Adidas did this as well, Nike did this as well. He comes with designs for his Yeezy brand that is being, kind of manufactured by these bigger companies, and then they basically steal the designs to make their own shoes in a certain aspect, or clothes, whatever it be. But that's pretty much where I had left off with it. But yeah, what you got?
So yeah, you're right. He's been like super salty, super pissed about. I mean, we talked about the Yeezy slides and the Adi Purelette slides. I think that's what Adidas is calling them. Exactly. It's a clear carbon copy with of the Yeezy slides, just like with minor tweaks. And they're doing the same shit with like this new shoe that basically looks like a different version, or like a 2.0 of the Foam Runner, right? So he was salty about that. He was salty about colorways and versions of his products getting released without his consent, his permission, right?
As everyone should, yep.
Yeah, like if you enter in a partnership with a big ass conglomerate like Nike or Adidas or whatever, and you're putting out a shoe with your name on it where you are the driving force of that shoe, no shit, you're gonna want some input into the colorway or the product that is actually being released. So that's what kind of lit this fire. And Yeezy went scorched earth this past week.
Let's go.
So the Adidas deal that he has is set to be, as it contractually states, it'll expire in 2030. The deal that he has with Gap will expire in 2026. And his lawyers came forward with this after Kanye was already talking about on Instagram and Twitter and shit. He is intending to break and sever those partnerships with specifically Gap, but Adidas is also on the chopping block. I think Adidas is a more salvageable relationship right now as far as the publicity goes. The Gap deal, he's citing that they did not release clothing that he wanted. They released clothing that wasn't approved, and that they have yet to open the retail stores that they agreed to in accordance with their contractual obligations. I guess there was some sort of a statement or stipulation in there that they would have a certain amount of Yeezy brick and mortar stores, Yeezy Gap brick and mortar stores, by like the end of 2023. So they still have a full 5 quarters to like put that shit together, but that's going to take way more to do than that. So he's just pretty much calling their bluff there. Give me a guess. What do you think the expected loss in revenue is for the Gap if this deal ends up getting kiboshed?
$500 million.
Times 4.
Really? $2 billion?
$2 billion.
I was going to say $1 billion, but that's real.
So
it's fucking Yeezy, man.
The deal
it's one of the biggest
was
fashion brands in the world.
Exactly. The deal was originally estimated at $1 billion when he first signed it, like 2 years ago, I think. And because...
Was it that long ago? Okay.
Yeah, because everything has blown up and he's gotten even bigger and the brand has gotten even bigger, their estimated revenue loss is $2 billion from this deal over the next 3.5 years or whatever it is.
Mm.
But did you see the other Instagram post that he put up of the contractual stipulations related to like Yeezy and what he can and can't produce?
No, I don't believe so.
So he posted a screenshot of a legal document, a summary of restrictions on Yeezy standalone activities is what it's called, and it's part of his licensing and endorsement agreement with Adidas and Gap. It's legal jargon and all that bullshit, but basically what it comes down to is it says that footwear, apparel, and accessories which use designs that copy or resemble any brands, designs, or interpretations used for Yeezy by Adidas or Yeezy Gap products, he is not allowed to like go on his own. So if he does this shit where he goes on his own, he has to come up with completely new designs for clothing, completely new designs for accessories. He can't release the 350 boosts on his own. He can't release the foam runners on his own. None of this shit he can release on his own. It's like what happened when he went from Nike to Adidas. He can't make the Red Octobers anymore because Nike owns that IP. So that was his big post, and he tagged it or captioned it, I guess the war's not over. So he's fucking knuckling up, dude. And it's wild to see.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not surprised.
That escalated quickly.
The real thing being that I'm not surprised at all, because this is what Kanye does, is he bites off more than he can chew with corporations that have fat bureaucracy, and then proceeds to be mad when he's not top dog at everything that's going on. Happens every time, literally every single time. And that's cool. Like, at the end of the day, I do think Kanye should finally get the respect he deserves as it comes to the fashion world. And they should give him the Virgil treatment, where Virgil Abloh had all the say in the creative direction of Louis Vuitton, shit like that. Like, Kanye needs that kind of, that ethos in the sphere. But at the same time, like, I know he's not dumb, but at the same time, he's acting kind of dumb walking into these deals again and again and again. Same thing with the marriage to Kim K, bro. Like, you can't be surprised when Kim Kardashian decides that she wants another person. That's what she does. Like, that's what Gap is going to do, is they're going to put out low-cost shit clothing that is decent enough, and people are going to buy it, and they're going to make $1 billion off it. You know what I mean? It's like, you can't sit here and expect to have the say over everything when it comes to a company like Gap, when it comes to a company like Adidas, you know? And you're the one that signed, Kanye, you're the one that signed the deal that said that you can't reproduce this shit if you go on your own. And then you got, disenchanted with the idea of it. So then now you have to go and reinvent. Like, that is what it is. Is the battle over? Of course not. These are legal battles. They take long times. I'm sure he'll get at least some of his IP out of it. But nah, man, like, I'm not surprised at any of this. Like, he also, I know, has other ideas in the gun. Like, if he decided to do it on his own, he could do it on his own. He would make new things. He would also make multiple millions of dollars off of, whatever he produces. But I can't sit here and feel bad for anybody involved. Gap should have known what the hell they were doing. That was both the allure and the, kind of sore thumb of that deal, was that Kanye is a loose cannon and Gap is a brand for fucking, white 10-year-olds. Like, that's just what it is. Like, I don't know. It's not surprising to me whatsoever. And I had seen parts of the interview, but come on, man. Also, Ye is starting to look like a weird mountain man these days. Like, he's going into his weird hermit designer phase. So we'll see where this lands. I'm not surprised. That's all I got.
My only surprise is it didn't happen sooner.
I could agree with that.
Like,
I do think that Gap was trying to be, pretty. They're trying to help him through the things. You know what I mean? They're trying to be, pretty flexible, I believe.
Yeah, I think the Gap one is a little bit newer, and I don't know, maybe he feels like he can push him around a little bit more, you know what I mean? Because it's like, Gap is basically a dying brand. Yeezy deal was like
huge for them.
The business circles was like, that was supposed to catapult them back into relevancy. And now they're getting clowned by him, and they're getting, the name dragged through the mud. I mean, it doesn't surprise me that the Gap is like his focal point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I would say that too, because like the Yeezy, the Adidas part of it is the part that's been there for longer, is the part that he's had the most success with, more than even he did with Nike. You know what I mean? So if he leaves Adidas, that would be surprising to me. I'll say that. The Gap part, unsurprising to me whatsoever. If he wants to get out of that deal, so be it. But if he really leaves Adidas, I'm not sure where that leaves him as it comes to the Yeezy brand. You know what I mean? Are you going to keep manufacturing, but on your own? Like, are you going the Red Bull powertrains where we're not taking Honda, we're just doing our own thing anymore? Or is he gonna go for like a Under Armour or something? You know what I mean?
I think
he's running out of companies.
If he does his own clothing shit, that's very manageable as far as producing and distributing like your own clothing brand. That's not that hard.
But what's hard is scaling that.
Shoes, yeah, it'll be difficult to scale it, but like the clothing and like finding manufacturers and shit, that won't be that hard, right? He's got money, he can pay for it. That's not a big deal. The shoes, I don't think that is something that he can easily do on his own as far as producing and getting them made. I mean, you saw what happened with LeVar Ball and the fucking shoes he made for Lonzo and LaMelo. They like fell apart. Yeah, you couldn't even play with them. LaMelo would be playing, or Lonzo would be playing, and he'd change into some fucking Jordans at halftime because he'd have blisters and the shoes would be literally falling apart. But
yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, it's not easy to do that. And Ye, for the longest time, has been saying that he wants his stuff to be so cheap and widely accessible that, you know, everyone can wear Yeezy. You know what I mean? That's the goal. And if he severs deals with big companies like this, it's just making that goal harder for him. You know what I mean? So
very true.
I can see him angling, doing this to get a Gap, to try to get, you know, better deals out of them and stuff like that. I can't think of my words today. I have such a better vocabulary that I'm using today, but I'm sorry, everybody. But whatever. Gap is someone that he might be trying to get better terms out of. But Adidas, losing that would be huge as it comes to his overall stated goal over the last decade. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and his brand, that would be... because like I said, I think he can make his own clothing brand pretty easily. Yeah. And like, you can buy a warehouse. He's got his own property in fucking Wyoming. Build a warehouse. You've got millions of dollars. The shoes is, I don't think that's possible for him with the level that he wants to do it on. You know what I mean?
A lot more goes into a shoe. You know what I'm saying?